morning, ladies. I hope you guys are doing well. We have had quite the exciting day. First of all, my oldest son turns 20 today, so I have one less teenager in the home. So that's exciting for him and for me too. You know, it just we enjoy every stage of their lives, and so anyway, hopefully he'll have a good day. He's at college and has 2 exams today, so not really a fun birthday, but we're going to celebrate this weekend when he comes home. So, but Johnny has had quite the exciting morning. So he's laid down behind me, and bless his heart, this morning we had a bear come, which is not unusual. We've had, bears, I've told you guys about them and love seeing them. But we have one bear that has gotten a little too comfortable coming around. And so I think it's a girl. She's a little curvy, But anyway, I call her Gertrude. And she has gotten really, really comfortable coming. And so she was out back this morning, and we have like an old mineral feeder for the cows down here. And she had climbed up in it. And so Johnny smelled, I guess, that she was here or whatever, and goes around there, and then he starts barking. And she just looks at him like it was a bird. I mean, like she was not afraid of him or anything. And anyway, it was just, thankfully Johnny is okay. But she actually ended up jumping off of the feeder and going after him, and he was trying to get at her, and they had a little bit of a tangle. Thankfully, he wasn't cut or anything like that. And of course, he's up to date on all his shots. But anyway, it was not fun. So that is the downside to living in the country, I guess, is sometimes the wildlife can be good to see and sometimes not so much. So anyway, poor Johnny, he's a little tuckered out today and just needing a little bit of extra love today, I think. So anyway, he had 2 hot dogs when I got back from taking the kids to school for all of his trouble today. But anyway, so I think a couple of things. One, I had someone ask about maybe me taking you guys along on the debt-free journey that I want to do. And so I think I will do that, as far as like maybe just sharing how it's going, tips, that kind of thing. Not actually showing the actual numbers, but just, things that we're doing just to kind of help things along. One of the things that I did yesterday was I actually made a plan for groceries for the week, for the meals and that kind of thing, and went ahead and got everything so that hopefully I don't need to go back to the grocery store until Friday, which is not very long, I know, but I knew I needed to get stuff for my son's birthday for this coming up weekend. So I thought, well, if I'm not having to run in every day, that's at least somewhat of a help. So I did do that. And so I think that will be definitely cheaper than running in, because every time you run in, you end up picking up things that you don't really need, or you're hungry and they just look good at the moment. So anyway, all those extras. But so that was one thing I did. And then I was thinking that I thought one thing that would be helpful to me would be to sit down at the end of each day, and even if I don't write it down, but just think to myself, okay, what could I have done different today that would have helped financially? So, and I'll just give you an example. And I think for a lot of us, it's probably going to revolve around the food and planning. So yesterday my daughter had horseback riding, and of course the kids are always hungry after school, and we go right from picking up from school to going to riding, and we're there until almost 6 o'clock. And so anyway, I had grabbed yesterday some water, bottled water, and some little mini cupcakes from the bakery. And while that was cheaper than say going through a McDonald's or grabbing other types of snacks, maybe, because I tried to just do a group snack instead of individuals, that could have been done a little different. So I could have a case of water at home, which I actually did. It just wasn't cold. But anyway, and brought some bottles from there to go in their water bottles, or made Rice Krispie treats would have been cheaper than the cupcakes and healthier too, because, no preservatives and stuff. Well, that's not true. I guess there's preservatives in marshmallows and Rice Krispies. They would have been homemade and cheaper. We'll just leave it at that. But anyway, so, there's always things we can do to kind of tighten things up a little bit. And so just looking back on yesterday, that was definitely something that I could have done. Another thing yesterday, I had to take my husband his lunch and breakfast yesterday morning because he had to leave a little bit earlier for work, so I didn't have it all ready. And he takes lunch and breakfast with him because he leaves super early in the morning anyway, but this was earlier than normal. But so I drove from dropping the kids off to, take him his stuff, which is like 30 minutes, and then back home, which is like 30 minutes. So if you're looking at it from which, by the way, I loved getting to see him yesterday. So that wasn't like a bad thing on my end. But if I'm looking at it economically, then it clearly would have made more sense not to have the extra gas that I spent going. So, planning, I guess what I'm saying is planning my trips better to where I'm not making extra trips for things would probably be helpful. But anyway, so I will include that as we go along and just kind of, things I'm learning, tips, that kind of thing. And maybe we can encourage each other. But the other thing I wanted to tell you is I could not figure out where all my towels were, my bath towels. And so yesterday I went down into the twins, the boys, because all three boys use their bathroom. And I've tried to encourage them to use their towel because when they get out of the bath, they're clean. So, you draw off, but you're clean. And so hang the towel up and let's use it again, and I haven't quite gotten through with that yet. And so I found out where all my towels were. There were 18 bath towels in their bathroom. And so anyway, they crack me up because especially one of my twins, if he goes outside to do anything, he comes back in and takes a shower. So he does not like to be dirty. The other one, he I'm good to be dirty during the day and I'll take one at the end of the day. And I think the older twin is probably more like my oldest son, where they're not real fond of being dirty. And so anyway, I thought, at least I found all my towels and I got them all washed and folded and put away yesterday. So that was very helpful. But I think today what I would really like to get done, because I spend so much time in my car, constantly in my car. And so I think I'm going to go out and clean it out because it looks like a war zone. And so I want to get the trash out and get all the extra stuff out and get it wiped down and hopefully vacuumed out, which is kind of a lot, I know, just, with everything else I've got to do today. Hopefully I can get all that done. I will not get it washed outside, and that's okay. I'm not riding on the outside of it. And while I would like for it to look nice, it's more important to me that it's nice on the inside as opposed to the outside. So I am going to go do that now, and I'm going to take you guys along. And so don't pass out when you see the inside of my car. It is a wreck, but anyway, we'll see what we can get done to clean it out and maybe restock it a little bit. I had bought some wipes for my purse, like the little wet ones, and they were pre-packaged. And I actually did remember to take those with me yesterday. So with the cupcakes, because let me say, that was another thing. Do not buy cupcakes from the deli that have the whipped icing and take them in your car. It's not a good plan. I can speak from experience. And so I had icing everywhere yesterday. In fact, I'm pretty sure there's still a cupcake somewhere floating around like under my seat. But anyway, I think though a thing of the wet ones, or just baby wipes or something, would be nice to have in the car where I'm not having to use, because the prepackaged ones are more expensive. So I think that is something I would like to get for the car. But anyway, and of course I think I need to restock it with tissues and stuff, but those are things I have to get. I don't currently have, I don't believe. So we're gonna head over to the car and get it cleaned out, and hopefully Johnny, he's poor thing, he's had a rough day. Maybe he'll go with us, but maybe not. You never know. All right, ladies, let's get going. All right, so we're out here. I've got a trash bag and a laundry basket. So I was looking for something earlier. That's why I don't normally ride with that in my seat. But anyway, as you can see, my door. Oh, okay. Tell me. Give me your thoughts. This little pocket here on your door, okay? What is that for? My husband and I, he gets so tickled at me because if we have trash in the car, that's where I stick it. To me, that's what that pocket is for. And he's like, that's not what that's for. You're not supposed to put trash in there. And I'm like, well, then where are you supposed to put your trash? Like, to me, that's what the pocket on the car door is for. So what do you use your pocket on your car door for? Do you put trash in it, or do you put other things in it? I'm just curious. So anyway, am I the only one that uses it for trash? But as you can see, well, I've got my other battery charging here, but it just needs to be cleaned out in here. It needs to be vacuumed, and actually, embarrassingly enough, where the kids ride is actually cleaner than where I ride, except if you put this down, all kinds of things. So anyway, and then of course the trunk. The trunk needs a good cleaning. I bought Johnny some more food yesterday, so I've got to take that in. And I went by and saw the pets yesterday, so I had some feed for them. So anyway, let's start back here, and we're just going to get it cleaned out, and hopefully make it look a lot better. Johnny has decided to come say hello. Can you tell everybody you had such a rough day? Yes. Oh goodness, such a rough day today. He's been needing a little more love than normal, so that's all right. I don't mind that at all. All right, these blankets are my daughter's. When we went to the Easter egg hunt, we had them. So I need to give those back to her, but I will wash them. And I keep a quilt back here, it's an old quilt and we don't use it anymore, but it does help a little bit. But I do need to vacuum this out. So let me take the dog food in and some other stuff, and then I'll bring the vacuum cleaner out and get this vacuumed out. All right guys, so got that cleaned out, vacuumed out, and now I'm just going to put a few more, or a couple things back in there. So the first one being my quilt that I carry, because as you all know, I am not the neatest of people, and so it helps having this in there. And then if something gets spilled, you know, I don't have to worry about it. And we do farm, so you know, you never know what you're going to have in your car. I have come home with baby calves before. I mean, it's crazy when you farm what you end up with in your vehicle that you had no intentions of, you know, having in there. So it's sort of like shoes. I'll get a new pair of like tennis shoes and I'll say, oh, I'm gonna keep these nice. And then there's a farm emergency when I don't have my boots with me, and it's like, oh, well, there go the shoes. All right, so I like this. This has been really helpful. I just have some things that I need to get out. I'm gonna keep this towel in there and these Clorox wipes, just for things when I need it. There's my other twin's hat that he made last week. All right. Let's see. Good deal. All right. part of it's done. Now we'll move on to the front section. All right, let's see what we can get back here and get. Oh, one of my twins has a crawfish. I got him in his aquarium. I got him these swimming trunks. I thought they were so cute. He was really tickled. All right, I have shirts for graduation for the boys. More trash. All right, I need to return these. I had ordered them for my daughter for her graduation and they did not fit. So let's put those up front so I'll remember. Could not find my shoes this morning. That might be why. All right. This back one here. There we go. All right. Easter candy from the Easter egg hunt. Water bottles, boots from riding yesterday. Oh my goodness. All right, now we're gonna get the back vacuumed out and then wiped out. All right, I'm gonna cut this camera off while I get it vacuumed and then I'll wipe it down and then we'll start on the next section. All right guys, so I got the car finished. I forgot to turn the camera back on, so I apologize for that. But let me show you. Now it's not perfect or anything, but it does make me feel a lot better. So got the inside, even cleaned all my trash out of my doors. But anyway, got everything vacuumed out and the seats wiped down. And the back, very back is good. And of course I showed y'all the trunk. And then here, of course my floor mat is stained. Not a whole lot I can do about that. Well, I guess I could get a new one, but not going to. Anyway, so just got everything wiped out. Got my water, my tissues, hand sanitizer and gum, and all my daughter's chapsticks. She's so funny. She loves chapstick. So anyway, everything is much better than it was. So whew, I've been working hard. My hair is a little disheveled. But anyway, thanks for hanging in there with me. And I appreciate you watching. And next time we'll get into another project and see what else we can do to bless our families and ourselves. So hope you guys have a great day. And I'll talk to you soon. Bye.